I'm Samantha Drugel, here to give you a back-to-school update. I sat down with our principal, Mr. Pollzzie, to discuss some things that you might need to know before returning to school this fall. For people who don't know, this is Mr. Pollzzie. He's been our principal now for 2 years, and how long have you been in the district?
So this will be my 18th year. I've served as a teacher, a football and track coach. I was an assistant principal here, CT director here. I was principal of Arborwood Elementary for 7 years, and now I'm starting my second year as a principal here at Monroe High.
The first thing that you should know is that all students and staff are required to wear a mask in the building at all times.
As far as masking goes, I know each district has their own policies that they follow based off of the CDC recommendations. I know that our school is requiring for the safety of our students and staff that students wear masks and wear them appropriately. Yep.
And I know, especially I started actually in one of my classes a little bit before school.
Yeah.
And I know we weren't allowed to really eat or drink in the building. We had to go outside because of taking down masks. Is that going to be allowed in school? Like, will people be able to drink water throughout the day?
Yeah, that was just, you had a nice session with Mr. Roush, and, I think he just wanted to take the class outside. Sure. Students can eat inside, no problem. You can, have water in your classroom.
Along with wearing masks, there will be other COVID-19 procedures that we will be expected to follow.
We'll not have one-way hallways. So that was something we had last year. I think with the number of students that we'll have in the building, I think the flow of our school will be fine if students can pass each other in the hallway, just as long as we just keep moving and reporting to class on time. That will be important.
And what about desk shields? I know that they were required for every person to have a desk shield in their area. Is that still?
Yep. Each classroom will have a desk shield for each student's desk, and those will be up. Yep.
And you have to do the whole thing, like you wipe them down every single time you leave the classroom, you wipe down your area, and then you go out to your next class.
It'll be up to each individual teacher as far as how they go about handling that. But yeah, some may have them wipe it down, some may not. It's up to how their policies are in the classroom.
And then I know one more big policy that we had last year was you entered, I believe, through the wing that your classroom was in.
Yep. We're going to have students that are being dropped off by buses, or if they drive, they'll be parking in the A or B wing lots, and everyone will come through the main doors. All the bussers will be coming through the main doors instead of each of the individual wings. If you are a parent drop-off or pickup, so that the parents do not interfere with the buses and the buses don't interfere with the parent loop, we're having it on the staff side, and the students will enter through our F6 door, which is by the weight room in the auditorium.
Is it the same for dismissal?
Same for dismissal.
Okay.
Yep. Well, dismissal, students can leave the specific wing closest to their bus.
Okay.
So they don't necessarily have to go out the main doors. Students, when they're leaving, will go to the specific wings to leave where their bus is located or their car.
Even though there are still some COVID-19 restrictions, some will be lifted. As most of you may remember, last year students were required to eat in their classroom, and that will not be the case this year. Mr. Pollzzie explains to us how we will all return to the cafeteria.
So we want to make sure that we can reduce the number of students in a common space as much as possible. So we went from 3 lunches, which had about 400 and some students in each lunch, to 4 lunches, which reduced the number by about 100. So we went to 4 lunches, and we'll have all of our 10th through 12th graders will eat in the commons area, and they'll have designated spots to sit, because normally you can fit 12 in a table. We're going to ask everyone kind of stagger their seating, so there's 6 to a table to spread each other out. And then our freshmen will have the opportunity to eat in our lecture rooms. So freshmen will, under the direction of Mr. Foley, will have assigned lecture rooms that they can eat, and they can spread out in our lecture room area and eat.
And just to clarify, you said they have designated seats. Is it assigned seats?
Not assigned seats, just certain areas where they can sit. We don't want kids sitting next to each other or across from each other, so we're going to kind of stagger the seating.
Yeah.
Students don't necessarily have to have an assigned seat in lunch. lunch, no.
Have gone to grab-and-go lunches, like you grab a sack lunch and you go sit down right away? Or will it continue to be like you go through the line, you get what you want, and then you come sit down?
There will be some selections. So we're working with Sodexo to have some selections. Not everyone will get the same lunch like we did kind of like last year. We have the box lunches. There will be a nice selection for students to choose from. We'll just have multiple lines with those selections available. Students will select the lunch that they want and then go have a seat.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And for people, I know some people are not exactly comfortable going into that much crowded area. Do you have an option to either go eat outside or go eat in the classroom? Do you have like options to eat other places besides cafeteria?
As those circumstances come up and as students or parents bring those to our attention, we can certainly make those places available when they come up. We've got plenty of space in our school, in areas in our school where we can have another space if a student doesn't feel comfortable.
If we have learned anything this past year, it's that technology can help us in so many different ways. Mr. Pollzzie discusses how he will handle the cell phone policy. And I heard you talk about cell phone policy a little bit, moving off from COVID. There are other policies that we had before COVID. And I know we used a lot of technology during the shutdown, like I'm sure people use their phones all the time.
Yes.
For Zoom and everything else. Is it going to change? Is cell phone policy going to maybe even adapt? Maybe let's just say you don't get rid of it. Is it going to change because of what happened during the lockdown?
Yeah, I think we took advantage of a lot of ways of using technology. You're reading your notes on your phone right now.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of appropriate ways that we use cell phones and Chromebooks and things like that. And there's a lot of habits that we've created, during lockdown as well. Once again, one of those things, those rules that we have for the safety, security of everyone in our building is we have a cell phone policy. And the policy that we'll be following, as of right now, is cell phones, as soon as you walk in the building, they have to be off and away. In the classroom, in the hallways, in the such. You can use them, though, in the commons during lunchtime or in the lecture rooms during lunchtime. That's something that we've offered for our students. Now, we've offered flexibility for teachers that need them for curriculum or need them for Lotus Leaf. We've offered teachers flexibility as long as they communicate with the staff to use these in their classroom for instruction.
Other policies, such as the attendance policy, will revert back to what it was pre-COVID. Something that is changing, however, is our building. Check it out. Can you just explain the bond in general, what that plays?
Sure. So we have a 5-year bond project that will be happening over these next 5 years. This year, we had a lot of work done to our D wing area and our B wing area. So when students come to school, the students that were here last year, back in 2020, they're going to notice some major changes to our lighting, the paint, classrooms, carpet area. You're going to notice a lot of changes to that. And we had construction crews here since the students left to work on those. We have new air conditioning and heating system as well. So they're just wrapping up that project for this year. Next year, there'll be a different project. We'll have this main office area. We're building a new addition onto the front of our secure entrance to the front of our building, and A wing will be the next phase of the 5-year project. But students, I can't wait for them to see it. The staff was really excited to see the new changes. It's like walking into a brand new school.
For more information, remember to watch our live broadcast every Friday during your TFT, and to follow all of our social medias at Lotus Leaf Live. I'm Samantha Drugel, signing off.